You see this blinking light above my head?
Yes.
It's in the video. Do you see it?
I do.
I can't get to not blink. I've put a memory card in that camera. It's not like physically on the wall. It's on the camera. Like you guys can't see it, but the people that are watching our live stream can see it. Do you see it in the camera?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, I see it on the.
Yeah, it's on the screen. I can't get it to stop. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our live stream of Compliance Live. I'm Amanda Hosenfeld. With me again is Jenny Franz. Hi, Jenny.
Hey.
We're excited to have you back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back.
And for those of you that are expecting to see Cailyn and Michelle back, they had some unexpected things come up, so they're unable to join us, but we are more than happy to welcome Kate Smith. Kate, hi.
Hi, how are you guys?
Yay. I'm so happy she's here.
No, you are a new face to the podcast, obviously, but you're a new face to ComplianceLine. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do here?
Yeah, so this is week number 2.
Congratulations, you made it.
Yes,
we totally sucked her in. Week number 2 already.
Right? Yeah. But it's been a really exciting week and a half, and I'm the digital marketing manager here. I don't know what that means yet.
But being on the podcast, this is a good start for you, right? Being on the live stream.
Well, I didn't know it was a live stream. You told me there was White Claw, and I kind of just showed up. So this is a big surprise, but I'm down for anything, so here I am.
Got her.
Yeah, so just for the record, we are not sponsored by White Claw, but White Claw, again, for the 3rd month in a row, if you're watching, we would love to have you sponsor us.
Hashtag White Claw.
So before we get started, cheers, ladies.
Yes, cheers.
For my HR mindedness, you have an Uber coming.
Absolutely.
And you have an Uber coming.
I do.
And I have an Uber coming, and they are going to be here at 5:05. Yep. So we have an hour to entertain you.
Yes.
So before we do officially get started, Mark from accounting would like everybody to know that this podcast / live stream today is sponsored by ComplianceLine. So thank you to ComplianceLine for offering this space for valuable compliance and ethics related content.
Woohoo!
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
And also, on a serious note, before we get started, our sincere ComplianceLine sincere condolences go out to the family of our data analyst, Lori Quiverin. Her mother passed away this week, Vi Lindsay. She was in her late 90s, and they were very close, and we want to publicly express our condolences. So, Lori, if you're listening later or watching now, our thoughts are with you.
Yes.
And we have a great announcement to make.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Are you so excited for this?
I need a drink real quick.
Drink for fortification.
I have no idea what's coming.
All right.
Okay. ComplianceLine, for the first time ever, has made Inc. Magazine's Inc. 5000 list.
Yeah!
Y'all are absolutely cleaning that up.
That was a huge surprise. So glad I had that.
And not only that, we are in the top 1,000.
Yeah, we aren't even in like the 4,090s.
No.
We are number 989.
Yep.
So we broke the top 1,000. Some other benchmarks. There were only 42 other companies in Charlotte to get this honor. So we are very excited.
My OCD is kicking in.
Congratulations to ComplianceLine.
Awesome. I'm so happy.
Yeah, congratulations to the whole ComplianceLine family.
I worked really hard for this
in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, so just throwing that out there.
We, Gio and Nick always say that it's for our people, and we're a very service-minded company, and so this is a huge honor to be included in with a lot of businesses. So
it is. It's amazing.
So
hard work starting to come fruition.
Yeah, we're very excited. So we were in the Charlotte Business Journal's Fast 50 in December of last year, and then Inc. 5000's list this year. So
we big time.
Yeah.
Big time. That's awesome.
All right, so I'm kind of imagining in my head for this live stream that I've got like old 70s game show music in my head. So it's like da 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 da. You know that one? Yeah. All right, because we are gonna play a game today, and it's Scout's honor. You guys have not seen.
She wouldn't.
What is on the notes? So she did. You came over to my desk and you were like, "Can we have a cheat sheet?"
And I'm like, "Do we have the answers?"
I don't need the answers. I'm gonna win. So
oh,
gauntlet.
Yikes.
So
Roan.
it begins. So it begins.
You are terrifying. So we're going to play a game called Real or Real, and we have to credit Michelle Zahowski for this. She was like, let's play a game on our next live stream. Stream. Not a scream.
No. I mean, we could.
I have had one sip of this.
Let's give another shout out to Uber. Thank you for existing.
So the game is this. I'm going to read a scenario. You can see there's tons of them. I'm going to read a scenario that either came into our call center hotline floor or did your watch beep?
Siri was wondering what was being said.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry.
So that either came into our call center floor or we pulled from the news about like lawsuits and settlements, or that we grabbed from a movie or television show. So you ladies have to guess whether it is real, a real situation, or if it came from a movie or TV show.
So
The answer is always going to be real.
real.
Yeah. You're always going to be right. You can't get it wrong.
Real or real.
I mean, if you want to make the sound effect noises, I'm like, more power to you.
Well, they always say life is stranger than fiction sometimes.
Doing these cards, that's accurate.
I can't wait. Let's do this.
Why do you think this is important? Is an important activity for us to do?
I think it's important for us to kind of understand, as I was kind of kidding, but it's like sometimes life, you think, oh, that can't be real. That can't happen. That's not going to happen in the workplace. Who would do that? And it's like, no, it's against compliance regulations. You really can't do that. Big kind of movie, and you might be pulling from some of this. That first comes to mind is Wolf of Wall Street.
I don't actually have any from Wolf of Wall Street on here.
But that's one where I'm sure a compliance officer sitting there going,
horrible.
Yeah, and a lot of the regulations that we do have in play kind of now came probably from some of those scenarios.
Yeah. So I think to make it to be really clear, some of the things that are on these cards are not illegal. Like, we're not going to put those in a box like that. They're just against compliance or against company policy.
Mm-hmm.
So, gossiping at the water cooler is not illegal, but it may be against company policy. I know, right? Because this room would be.
It's literally how I spent the last week and a half.
Right?
So now what am I going to do?
Well, it's against policy. Let me give you our hotline. Okay. So here's your first one. There is a report of an employee stealing valuable company information to sell to competitors. Real or real? A report of an employee stealing valuable company information to sell to competitors.
I'm thinking
REAL.
I'm thinking real.
Like
No,
real
like-
life.
Yeah, like
real life.
True
not-
story.
Yeah, true story. Because I could totally see somebody doing that.
I actually pulled this from Jurassic Park.
Did you?
Stop it.
Because the guy stole the dinosaur DNA vials and put them in the Barbasol can to sell to competitors.
I think I was like behind the couch that entire movie. So I don't know if I watched a lot of it.
I'm sure that's probably.
Yeah, it's
real.
absolutely happened. Like, we absolutely have gotten.
Real. I mean, there's an insider trading regulation for a reason.
That's true. I mean, like that. Our company has like a company secrets. It's not labeled the company secrets policy, but like
It is.
it's frowned upon to take things that you work that you do and gain while you're in a company and give it. So that may have been illegal, but with the dino DNA. But
Okay, fine. You got
fine,
us.
you get it. Okay,
got us.
all right. Next one.
We're warming up.
Yeah, no. Hold on. I gotta get warmed up here a little bit.
A report of a home health nurse in a sexual relationship with their patient who has dementia.
OMG. I don't want to say it, but I have a feeling it's probably real.
Like real life,
Like
real.
real life.
I'm going to
Real.
go real.
Like movie real.
Yeah.
Real life, real.
Oh, God,
I knew
that
you
is
got these
so-
answers,
I
but yeah.
did.
No, that one.
one's-
I actually took that call.
Did you really?
Yeah, really took that call.
That is. Yeah.
When I was writing out the card, I was like, is there a movie that also has this
No.
type of thing in it? I mean, there may be. I don't know.
Again,
but it's,
there's an example of real life being worse than fiction.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm.
Okay, who's winning?
Me.
You.
Really? Giving you a false sense of confidence.
I'm not keeping count or anything.
No. All right. Reports of a supervisor opening and partaking in gifts of alcohol and a gift more than $25 or bribery. Real or real?
Were you guys?
Real.
Want me to read it again?
I'm going movie again.
You're going movie.
I'm going real. Am I doing that right? I'm screwing
I don't know.
up.
They're Jenny's
Real.
rules. I don't know.
She her shoulders go up when she does it. And
It's like a cat's back. I'm thinking you're not doing like one the other. So I'm gonna go real life.
Real life. This happened in an episode of Parks and Recreation.
Oh, good Lord. Did you not mix those cards up?
I did.
Did somebody bribe
I've been
Sebastian?
pulling from the. I've been pulling from the middle. Yeah, this happened when Leslie Knope drank. She wanted to be in the boys' club, and so she opened the basket with a bottle of wine in it.
Boom.
And she was in trouble for bribery because that basket of wine was over $25.
Gotta watch out for this because a lot of folks don't realize that because sometimes, like, you know, in being in sales and whatnot, it's like you kind of want to like you want to give incentives, you want to kind of like show your appreciation, right, for your customers, and it's not like you're trying to bribe them. It's like truly from the heart that you want to. But we understand, and we have had like actually a lot of clients that are like, I appreciate that, but you know, I can't accept it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, and I totally get it. But
How much was this candy? $19.99.
yeah, you're under 25.
We actually we did a show on this. We did a show last holiday season on a very compliant Christmas, which was about gift giving in the workplace and what was appropriate and what was not appropriate. And it essentially came down to the company, you write your own policy, but generally it's if there's anything of a significant monetary amount, then you shouldn't accept it.
We I dealt with a very, very large retail store in my other life before ComplianceLine. It was not my best life. My best life is right now, but you couldn't. They had a policy. We couldn't even buy them lunch if we were doing a sales meeting. They had to pay for their own lunch. That's how like strict they were about that, and very conscious about how that could potentially sway decisions.
So even though this did come from an episode of Parks and Rec, I have seen clients, and I train our people on clients that have specific directives about gift giving, and they call specifically to ask, can I accept this greeting card? Is it appropriate to take this $5 Starbucks card?
I got some jelly. Can I have some jelly? Is jelly okay?
And people actually, they do, because they're concerned about it and a couple of them are like government contractor
companies. Could you imagine like losing your job over a jar of jelly?
Yeah. Or, how did you land in jail? Well, there was a bag of popcorn and it was delicious.
I couldn't help myself. It was cheddar.
Now, if it makes you guys feel any better, I'm going to make all gifts for everyone. They pretty much have a zero value when I'm done.
Okay.
We've spoke a little bit about my Pinterest ability, so don't you worry. We're all flying under the radar.
So she's already setting the bar that we're going to have to give her a gift. This year.
On record now. Right. All right. A report of improper conflict of interest relationship between a small business owner and a big box store retailer.
Ooh, hey, there you go.
Real or real?
Say that one more time for me.
A report of an improper conflict of interest relationship between a small business owner and a big box store retailer.
So I'm going real on this, and I'm actually going to try to guess the show. Well, I was until it just went out of my head.
Wah,
wah. Maybe I'll get it while she thinks this over for 20 minutes.
You just got called out.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
It's better not affect my Christmas gift.
No.
You're getting a handmade oven mitt, ma'am.
It's my dream.
Real.
I don't know which one that is. Tell me which one that is.
EEL.
EEL. Correct. This is the plot of You've Got Mail.
Oh, that wasn't what. No, that was totally what I was thinking.
Was it the
No,
one that you
not at all.
just gave yourself away?
Totally.
Totally could have been. And we're like, oh yeah, it's exactly what I was
I know.
thinking.
I was gonna go with it, but it would be unethical
Right?
to lie.
We do. We
It's true. It's against
we,
our.
We don't handle liar, liars, pants on fire very
I don't
well
need to be
here.
the next card in the next podcast.
Exactly.
So there's a report of a disoriented patient escaping a room, exiting a fire door with a broken alarm to a roof, and falling to his death. Real or real?
This is like the worst movie ever. I'm going with real life.
Real life?
But that's
Okay.
horrible.
It makes me like kind of like the dementia patient one. Kind of
Yeah.
makes me ill to my stomach. But
Yep.
real life.
Real life. This was one of like 17 compliance violations, huge compliance violations found in, I think, California that had like large settlements come off of it.
Yikes.
This was a real, the patient escaped from his room, got out of a fire door on the roof that the alarm had not been working properly, and he fell to his death.
That is awful. I hope they had the book thrown at them.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Some of these I wrote down, like the monetary fine that they got, but I didn't on that one.
Mm.
So it's a Googleable. All right. Reports of an employee offering sexual favors for vendor discounts. Long pauses doesn't do our
I
listening
know.
audience well.
God, you're making me think.
I'm going. Wait.
Real. As in EEL.
EEL. Okay, the real. So it is an episode of The Office.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, where Meredith was offering discounts.
Oh, good old Meredith.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, I do have
Uh-huh.
like an asterisk note on this. We have had cases of reports of it wasn't sexual favors but vendor perks.
Oh yeah.
So we,
Yeah,
we'll put this medicine on
Well,
the
that goes-
rotation if
yeah,
in
that goes-
exchange for
Yeah, I mean, like not like maybe 10, 15 years ago, like I think like the physician I went to at that time actually had he was involved in something like that because, they have the pharmaceutical reps that go in, and he was like a part of, this where he was getting side money.
yeah, it was like kickbacks
Yeah,
almost.
kickbacks,
That's the
you
word
know?
we're looking for.
Yep, kickbacks, exactly. He was getting kickbacks for, putting on everybody on this prescription. That's awful.
And a lot of the reports that we get in are there was no medical need for them to be on that medicine
Oh my
at
God.
all. It
Yeah,
was
that's
just
even
that doctor
worse.
was just billing for it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you may have one of the symptoms that this could potentially help you with. So maybe you just should try this.
And that just kills, then you hear a story like that, and then every time you go to the doctor and they're like, your need, and you're like,
Are you
"Do
sure I need?
Yeah.
Do
Like,
I
my
really
trust
need?
is kind of shot at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Tell me what other medicines are there and
Yeah.
why are you recommending
Yeah,
this
or
one
can I
And
Specifically.
also, why are you wearing their hat? And why does your
Yeah.
car say
Yeah.
that name?
And
Like,
why are
I
all
see
your keychain?
Why are the pens for that company? Because all the pens, the big thing.
Yeah, but this goes back to one of these ones we talked about earlier because a pen, because a pen is such a small monetary value. Those are things that would be like a appropriate gifts and would
Yeah.
not be considered bribery.
Yeah.
Crazy, I say, unethical people.
Now, when I kept this in mind when I was finding these cards and getting the stories from the actual reps on the floor, because we put out a call to our floor and it was like, hey guys, if you ever had something that you think that would be in a movie, let me know the story so we could do it in this game. And a lot of them were like, well, what do you want things that are criminal? And I just got done with a new hire class. And one of the things that I always tell that new hire class is compliance just means the rules. And when somebody breaks the rules, it doesn't matter if that rule is illegal or not. It's a compliance violation.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of think about what we said earlier, that these aren't like necessarily illegal activities, but just unethical.
Absolutely.
Okay, report of a chef live streaming his cooking against company policy. Report of a chef live streaming his cooking, which is against company policy.
Real life.
Real life,
I'm
Jenny?
going real life.
I'm trying to think of like when she does this, I'm trying to quickly think of movies.
Yeah.
Like going through my Rolodex because
I
you
don't
know
watch
I'm
a lot
old
of cooking
school.
movies, so I'm like,
Got
eh.
Rolodex, yeah. I'm thinking real.
You think real life as
Yeah,
well?
I think real life as well.
So this is a incident that happened in real life.
Okay.
It was also, though, a slightly different, happened on Grey's Anatomy, except it was a doctor who was live streaming his surgeries.
Oh.
Ew.
Yeah,
Actually,
I mean,
if
if you spend a lot of time watching Dr. Pimple Popper, I
exactly.
don't know that it's any different.
I was literally just going to mention Dr.
I am-
Popper.
I think I'm the only person that won't watch it.
I didn't for the longest time, and then I watched one, and I'm like, oh, this is enthralling. I'm gonna.
and
and
this,
then-
It's
this
one of
is
those
my
things
life
that
and
now.
like, you can't look away.
Caught up on to season 3, and here we are.
The you're in season 3. You watched 3 seasons of Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yes.
How's
there
that
are.
storyline
That's
progressing?
a lot. Jenny.
Well, is it a lymphoma? Is it a cyst? Is it okay?
I feel like
no
after you've
spoilers.
seen one season of Dr. Pimple Popper, you
Pretty
should
much.
probably move on to like
Yeah.
watching the
much.
botfly videos.
Mm.
Have you seen those
Mm.
where people got botfly eggs? And
Mm.
okay, never mind.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
So, report of a pharmacist sharing confidential medical info with a customer about an ex-boyfriend that the customer is now dating.
Oh, I'm thinking real
Yeah.
EEL.
EEL.
Yeah.
So a movie.
Yes.
It's familiar.
It does sound familiar, and that's why I was like,
This is actually real life, and the
Stop
the
it.
customer, not the customer, I think it was the boyfriend was awarded $1.44 million from Walgreens
whoa,
because they had broken the HIPAA.
Yes.
Because the HIPAA
Wow.
laws, you can't just say, "Oh yeah, I used to date him. He's got
Here's some extra antibiotics.
right, yeah. You
Good
might
luck.
need these.
Yeah.
You can't do
Right.
that. Like that's a violation of HIPAA. But
Wow.
that's a real life incident. At
But
one
it does
point,
sound kind of familiar too. I don't know. Maybe I'm starting to make stuff up here.
Or maybe we saw it on the news and we were like,
Potentially, I read the
Oh.
article. I kind of
I
remember.
hope I
the
don't know that
article now.
guy.
Yeah, right.
that might have been one of the ones that we examined for like horror stories when we did
Yeah.
sanction check horror stories. All right, there's a report of a professor being outed in a staff meeting. Report of a professor being outed in a staff meeting.
I'm going to say
EEL.
EEL.
EEL, like a movie.
Mhm.
I think I know the movie.
I think movie. I'm not sure of the movie, but I kind of remember.
This is actually a real life report that we got.
Wow.
So it turns out that the story that the agent told me is that the professor was in a staff meeting and all of the staff were talking about like their spouses and they're like, well, you can bring your spouse or your partner. And he had not been.
Wow.
He had
In a
not been
pro.
publicly. Yeah. So that's
Not your
against. I mean, that would be against
Oh,
company
yeah.
policy.
Yeah, but that's just also
Tactless.
tactless,
Yeah.
rude. Just mind your business. Mind your business.
I thought it was that movie In and Out, but now that I'm thinking about it, and that was like an old movie.
Yeah.
But that was like at a graduation ceremony or something. They outed him. Kevin Kline.
Yes, I do remember
It-
that one.
It was filmed in the town that I grew up in, Northport, New
Oh,
York.
There
Quick
you
shout
go.
out.
Shout out.
Oh,
Shout out in Northport, New York.
Shout out.
All right. Report of blocked fire exits.
That sounds like
That's all I got.
two. That sounds like two.
Like
As in
EEL.
EEL.
Movie. Yeah, I'm just gonna start saying movie.
Yeah. A feature film.
So you think movie too?
Yes.
Yep, that's an episode of The Office.
It was also Lean on Me
What is
with
a lean
Denzel
on me?
Washington. Oh my God, it's a movie from like 1989, maybe. But he takes over an inner city school
Mm-hmm.
as a
Because
principal,
oh, that's right.
and the
yeah,
gangs kept trying to get in, so he padlocked all the doors,
Oh,
and then somebody reported him, and then the fire chief came, and
that's a compliance violation.
yeah,
Mhm.
I know. I
Very
hate to
much.
say that because I cheered for him the whole movie, but
Yeah.
not good,
Not
Denzel,
good.
not good.
Too many lives at stake.
Oh, it wasn't. It was Morgan Freeman. It was Morgan Freeman. It still
Are you
doesn't
sure?
help. I'm positive.
No. Does it have zombies in
I'm
it?
gonna change. No,
Then I haven't watched it.
I'm gonna have to make you a movie
Does
list.
it have werewolves in it? I haven't watched it.
Is it Breaking Dawn? Is it
Like,
vampires?
does it have chainsaw wielding maniacs in it?
Is
Then I haven't
Twilight
watched
in
it.
there? Because I'm sure there are plenty of
There-
compliance violations.
Yes. Report of a nurse violating HIPAA against a patient who was suing the nurse's husband. The nurse looked at a patient file and gave info to the husband to use against him in court.
Why does that sound like a movie? God, it's ringing a bell for a movie.
I'm gonna say real life because I'm
going to go the opposite. I'm going to say movie.
This one is real life.
Oh, okay.
Real life.
I mean, I haven't really been keeping track, but I'm winning, right?
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
I'm technically. I think I'm winning.
True. You are winning.
Obviously,
You are
that's
because
true.
you have the you have
Yeah.
both of us here. So
That's true.
winning.
All right. There was a report of 2 doctors gossiping about the sexuality of a third doctor and is overheard.
Why am I thinking Grey's Anatomy on this one?
I don't know. Why are you thinking Grey's Anatomy?
Potentially,
on
I think
this?
it's Grey's Anatomy.
You think so?
I'm going to take Grey's Anatomy for 10. Amanda.
You didn't form that in the
I
form
know,
of,
I totally
a,
didn't.
of a question.
That means I automatically get to go, right? What is Grey's Anatomy?
Actually, it was Nip Tuck.
Okay.
Okay, so when we decided to do, it may have been also in Grey's
I
Anatomy.
still think I should get that.
Yeah.
point.
Like I don't watch Grey's Anatomy, but
No.
the list of compliance violations I found in Grey's Anatomy was
Yeah,
comprehensive.
well, I'm sure you
Yeah.
did a Nip Tuck too, because that was a
Mhm.
raunchy
show. So I've been recently watching old episodes of Nip Tuck because I found out it was on Hulu, and I was thinking a couple months ago I haven't seen Nip Tuck in a while. I'd like to watch that. So I've been watching them all. And everything in that show is a compliance violation.
Oh,
From the
100%.
moment the credits roll to
Yeah.
the ending credits
Yeah.
is a compliance violation.
It
So
is.
as somebody who's new to compliance, right? I'm hearing this and I'm going, am I going to become that guy? Right? Are you guys that guy that when you're watching something with someone, every time that, oh no, you can't do that.
Compliance, nope, policy. It's against company
Can we
policy.
just get through the show?
Yeah. Unless you're that person that just in general is one step away from a HIPAA violation. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right, reports of surgical implements being left in patients requiring additional surgeries.
Show. Real show. Okay, wait, let's try this again. Real EL show.
Real, okay.
Real life.
This is a trick one because it's real. Also in Nip Tuck, ER, and Grey's Anatomy.
And
Wow.
Scrubs.
And Scrubs, okay.
OMG.
Scrubs is another one that I think is probably rife
it's
with
like-
compliance
Yeah.
violations.
And they do them and they're hilarious, but at the same time you're like, ooh, he literally just found out he left his watch in someone.
Well, what's that nurse one? Nurse
Jackie.
Nurse
Jackie. Like, isn't she like a drug addict or something?
Yeah, I think maybe we should steer away from all medical
Right.
shows.
Yeah, I think that's safe as a
Yeah.
compliance officer. Medical shows are like financial related shows because I found like a comprehensive list also of like not only Wolf of Wall Street but like the Wall Street movie from the 80s with who's in that, Charlie Sheen.
Yes.
So that was a heavily
It's nice to know you watched movies in the 80s because everyone I've said.
no.
Yeah.
I
We have
mean
to trade lists.
there's a no. I didn't watch Wall Street. It was just on a list. All of the good slasher movies are in the 80s.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
Okay, report of bullying towards an intern that could be described as hazing.
Wow, that has to be a movie.
Yeah. It's got to be a
Feature
movie,
film.
a show, and real life. Can it be all of them?
All of the above.
This one only has one.
Okay. Movie.
show.
It's real life.
Wow.
We got a report of hazing of one of like I don't know that they call them like candy stripers anymore, but like
Yeah,
the medical interns that don't get paid.
What are they? Just the volunteers
yeah, the
that like wheel
volunteers.
the people to and fro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, how do you have time to haze people at work?
I don't get
I don't
that.
have time
I barely have time
Well,
to eat lunch.
We just haven't hazed you yet, so
Okay.
you just wait. I mean,
Everybody
we
heard that, right?
normally wait until week 3 for that. So
For the record, hazing is against Compliance Line company policy.
again, I kid. I joke.
Bullying is
that's-
not tolerated
it's
in the
not.
Compliance Line workplace, but obviously hard seltzer is, so it's fine.
So, no, that's awful. I mean, that wouldn't. And if you think about it, it's like you could see like somebody, as you said, kind of like maybe the younger kind of kids, in that kind of role or whatever, doing that. But
Well, and generally those kids, they volunteer. You're there to learn, to because you have some kind of passion for it, and then people just come in and they crush it.
it's no fun.
Yeah, it turns out, hey, I don't want to be a nurse anymore. I
Yeah.
don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a dentist. I don't want to do this anymore. It's horrible.
People.
Just be kind to each other.
That's right.
All right. Reports of a teacher not having the certifications to teach their subject.
Thinking movie, feature film. I'm really trying to figure out which one.
Real life.
Summer school.
But actually, oh my God, yes. But also, have you seen the Jeffrey Epstein documentary?
Not yet.
I'm
It's on
not
my
about to get all
list.
political on anyone, but he was teaching in the beginning of his career, and he did not have any credentials.
Wow.
And
Wow.
when he got caught, speaking of the head of the, now I could be getting this wrong, so don't fact check me, audience. But what ended up happening is when they found out, they looked the other way, and they ignored it. And the guy,
And then look what happened.
yeah, and the guy that he's in
Talk
the
about
documentary,
domino effect.
and he turns around and he said, I regret to this day, I should have
my
made a bigger
God.
deal. And then maybe his career wouldn't have gone the way that it did.
I think that's a great example of like whistleblowing.
Yeah.
Like we've done a lot of shows about whistleblowing. The ethics experts has done a ton of shows about whistleblowing and how it's whistleblowing now could save a lot of grief and heartache and company reputation and later. So just I agree, a value of whistleblowing.
When you think about it, it's not like, oh my God, I caught him doing something bad, but I bet this is the only bad thing he's ever just that one time.
No,
I mean,
it allowed him, right, to continue on the path of his just sheer evilness.
Right, horrendous behavior.
Yeah.
So, oh my goodness.
I mean, it's almost like those behaviors or behaviors that can foreshadow that can be seen in the workplace. It's just, are we speaking up about it? And do we have, not even like just shameless plug, do you have the mechanisms in place to be able to speak up about it? Do you have a reporting hotline? Do you have a online reporting form? Do you know where to get the numbers and things for that? I think that's hugely telling.
I mean, if you like take that and then just like pull back and think about, like, if you're not running an ethical kind of company and you don't have like a good compliance program in place, think about what you could potentially be letting happen that's going to, again, domino effect maybe further down the line. Think about if you're stopping somebody from doing something unethical and just awful right now, what you could potentially be stopping. It's like mind blowing.
I'm giving you pens that cost $25.99 today.
But
You don't stop me, and everyone's getting a Tesla next year.
Right.
yeah, it's awful. Yeah, I mean, it is.
Just because you said that on the air and it's recorded, I'm looking forward to my Tesla next year,
Everyone's a
Kate.
Tesla.
All right, so did we decide whether this was a movie or real life? This professor not being licensed?
I said movie.
I said real life.
This is actually an episode of Glee. We just finished watching all the seasons of Glee with my daughter, and this Mr. Shu wasn't actually a licensed Spanish teacher, and so he decided to teach history instead, which, as somebody that used to teach history, anybody can do that. Not like that's insulting and wrong. But I do have a kind of asterisk to this one. We did get a call last week, actually, about a pharmacist who was not licensed in the state.
Oh.
So they were licensed in another state, but had been hired in a different state, but did not hold that state's
Now,
license.
now
So
some
shady.
people, so some people might think, oh well, no big deal, and at least he had a license, and he was farming. But no,
That's a huge
Mhm.
risk.
it is
Yeah.
because there are so many different rules and regulations and requirements, et cetera, state to state, and that's why they have board certifications
Yeah.
for states.
Yeah,
So-
your certifications like that don't transfer across state. It's like teaching certificates. Like if you're going
Yeah.
to teach if you live in South Carolina, but you have to teach in North Carolina, you can't have a
Mhm.
South Carolina teacher's license. You have to have a North
Yeah.
Carolina
Some
one.
licenses do, like I think there's
Sure.
some nursing licenses or whatever that actually do have like if you're in like a tri-state area or whatever,
Right.
they do that. But those are special ones that you have to
Yeah.
go after.
Yeah.
So, but
Nope.
interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. A report of,
I think I'm losing. Just FYI.
I do too.
I mean, naturally, because I'm winning. I only have 4 left.
It's the speed round.
We didn't bring the bopper button in
know.
here. I'm going to try and find some sound effects.
We were afraid of workplace violence.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
good,
because
good
we got
talk.
the Ohioan and the New Yorker. We were
Yeah.
gonna like hash it out.
Yeah,
so.
it's I'm really glad that you cleaned up your confetti. I didn't want to have to clean up blood too
Yeah.
in the
No.
studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a report of housing discrimination as employees sold houses at elevated costs, delay appointments for African American consumers, and charge higher interest rates to minorities.
Didn't that just happen in the news?
Did it?
I don't know.
Yeah, real life.
I think it is real life.
Real life.
Real life. This one is actually the plot of A Raisin in the Sun.
Yeah.
Can also be real
Yeah.
life. I mean,
Oh,
like it's like
totally.
Yeah.
definitely happens in
Yeah.
real life as well, but this one specifically was that plot of A Raisin in the Sun.
Hmm.
But I put an asterisk real
Totally.
as well
Yeah.
here. So points awarded to you, Beth.
Okay, good. All right, we're tied right now. I think we're tied.
Oh, you just reset the score?
Yes.
You just put your finger on the table. Is that resetting the store?
I did.
Reset.
Reset. That was my reset.
I'm going to contest this, so just beware. I'm telling
You
you.
can put on an online report. Blow the whistle on it.
Ready?
A report of a doctor sleeping with a direct supervisor and later accusing him of sexual harassment. Real or real?
Was that doctor?
I think it's going to be both, but my official guess is real EEL.
EEL?
EEL.
Jenny?
Jenny. I don't know why you had a Forrest Gump feel for that.
At a Jenny.
So, see, if I actually answer the same as she did, and we're both wrong or right, we're still tied.
One of us always tells the
Well,
truth,
there's
and one of us always
strategy.
lies.
There's some strategy happening in this room.
That was unintentional
Strategy.
strategy.
I'm going to say real life.
This was an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
I just gave it to you. You're welcome.
Really?
I did.
Reports.
Let
All
the
right.
record show.
We're down to our last 2,
All right,
ladies.
okay.
All right,
I think we start over.
start over. Okay. Wait,
She
We
literally
st-
keeps erasing
we
my
started-
lead.
we
You know
started
this is
over
being
the last
recorded.
time. There's evidence. There's evidence of your trickery. I think gambling is against ComplianceLine policy.
The
It-
world will know.
If you
That's all that
haven't guessed by now, I am a sore
The
loser.
3 people that are watching this live stream right now will know.
Everybody
Thank
knows.
you, by the way, for watching this live stream. All right.
We're going to start a new hashtag Kate won. Let's get it started right now. Get it started.
Are you viral on TikTok? Because Jenny
I'm
is.
I'm about to be. I'm taking clips of this.
All right, a report of a therapist disclosing personal information about himself to a patient unprofessionally.
Okay.
Want me to read it again?
Yes, please.
Okay. A report of a therapist disclosing personal information about himself to a patient unprofessionally.
I am thinking that is a movie, and I don't know what.
Real life for the win. Oh no, wait. There's one more card.
There's one. Sorry, you have to reset it. You have to physically say the word reset.
No, I can't use
And
that
like tap
line.
the table.
But you got to do it this way.
I've already wasted
With
that
2
line.
hands.
I'm thinking it's a movie.
I'm going real life.
This is the plot to Good Will Hunting.
That's what I thought.
Oh my God.
It
You
is,
just ruined that
right?
movie.
Sorry, like the whole movie is a one big compliance violation.
Yeah, and the whole time I was like, look at Robin Williams.
I
and
said,
now I'm like,
not supposed to do
look at
that.
Robin Williams.
I'm trying to think of a Robin Williams movie that, God love him, is not a compliance violation.
Patch Adams is riddled with compliance regulations.
Yep.
All right, we're tied.
Last one. All right.
Last one's for the win.
For the win.
Hashtag Jenny wins.
Report of homeless individuals being recruited, and if you're listening to this, it's on in quotation marks, to travel by ambulance to hospitals for unnecessary treatment. Report of homeless individuals being quote unquote recruited to travel by ambulance to hospitals for unnecessary medical treatment.
Can I phone a friend?
You cannot.
This is not that kind
Dang
of
it.
show.
Okay, can I Google?
Can I poll the three of you in the audience?
Can we poll you?
Mom, what do you think?
You said your kids are watching the live
My
stream.
kids are watching the live stream.
All right. We'll
They
be
probably
I
know.
guarantee my kid is not watching.
I'm
the
gonna get
live
home and they're
stream.
gonna be like, I can't believe you blew that lead.
as awful as this sounds, I think this is real life.
Okay.
Okay, now I gotta go real. Also, before I either win or lose, can I shout out?
Yes.
Hi Shane, hi Johanna.
Oh, so sweet.
Do you have any shout outs?
I want to shout out to Maya Zahowski. I miss her. I wish she was here with me doing the show. So
Instead of me, or let's just
No,
in
Is this part of-
addition to no,
kind
in
of a
addition
bully.
to no,
What a-
it's in
Workplace
addition
bully.
to.
Yes, I get
In
it.
addition to.
The power of numbers.
Yeah.
I get it.
Okay, and the winner is.
This was real. It was a $10 million settlement fraud case.
That was like a.
Yeah, because this one's crazy plot to a movie, right? Like you'd think that, wow, that sounds
Yeah.
shady. But evidently, this hospital was sending their ambulances out to recruit homeless people to come in for treatment so that they could bill Medicare.
Oh, shady.
And then they would say, because they get paid. I guess I imagine I'm not a Medicare expert, but like they get paid per
Yeah.
individual that they treat.
Be in that boardroom of the two people that were like, I have an idea. And just stand there and go,
How
really though?
How can we
Like,
make more money?
Yeah.
Let's bring in these homeless people.
How rotten to the core.
Yeah.
And their moral compass is so askew. Oh my gosh.
That's what I mean. Fly on the wall and just go. At one point, did anyone say, maybe not?
Yeah.
Maybe we don't
Maybe
do
this is slightly like really unethical.
I think that in a nutshell is what we do here, right?
Yeah.
Is if to assess, if I would have said this to my grandmother or presented this in front of a group of people and said, hey, what do you think about this? And any of them said, that doesn't really seem above board.
Yeah.
Probably is not a good idea, and we probably shouldn't do it because it's probably a compliance violation of some sort.
yeah.
I literally, since we're talking about movies and TV, pictured like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons sitting across from another Mr. Burns and being like,
Yeah.
you know what we should do? Yes, we should. And I was like, somebody put Lisa in the room. Like,
Actually,
Yeah.
when I was looking for compliance violations in movies and televisions, The Simpsons came up a lot.
Oh yeah.
And I thought those would be too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
You know?
as like a power plant.
Right.
there's a donut that was
green
like-
with green slime running down the
Oh my
stream
gosh,
into
that's
the
in the
river.
Credits of every Simpsons
Yeah.
episode, isn't it?
there was a donut left on the conveyor belt.
Homer, where's Homer?
One of the big ones was like, one of the things that I Googled to find these scenarios from movies and televisions is fireable offenses in television shows, because a lot of them, came from like The Office or Parks and Rec, where they're constantly doing
Yes.
things that you should be fired for that are violations of either company policy or they're illegal. So I got a lot from The Simpsons, and they were like, actually, I think the only Simpsons character that has never lost his job for incompetence has been the Chief Wiggum.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah.
Good. And now, finally, someone that I loved from TV is not a bad guy. That's good.
No, he still is. He just never got
Oh,
He just never got
fired
No,
for
he's
it.
still like
ruining my life.
he just hasn't been caught.
Oh, wow.
What of these surprised you? Any of them?
No, the dementia patient one, that's just atrocious because, that kind of hits close to home because, those that don't know, my mom, suffers from dementia. So it's like, it just like literally my stomach just soured. I was just like, that's just, oh, yeah, it's awful. That's why it's so important. Like when you are, working with home health care people and whatnot, I mean, I know everybody tries to be cautious, but reliable sources and just background checks. And again, just go think through like the thing and look at the company and just make sure that they don't have any violations against them,
but also know how to get in touch with the compliance department.
You bet.
For who,
because
if they're going through Bayauto or any other company, just make sure that you have the paperwork for it. If I see something, how do I say something?
Yeah, and that's very key for if you are a home health care, company. It's important that you make sure that your hotline is available because as much as you guys would like to think that, everything's amazing and, I've hired the best people and I've done X, Y, and Z, there are some unfortunately evil people that get around with, away with stuff. And so if you have that hotline number available, to your your at-home patient, families or whatnot, then they can call in, they can report. You can get it nipped in the bud, get it done. And
one thing that we learned, Jenny, you were on the show earlier, and Kate, this might be not something that you've had a chance to review yet in your week and a half here. Take notes, reset. Is that a low amount of calls to a hotline or reports is not a good thing. It's actually a really bad thing. We learned that in the benchmark report, and we've done a couple shows on it. And so, a company that doesn't want reports will not advertise their number.
Yep.
But doesn't mean that they don't have compliance violations. Yep. It's like, well, we have a low number of, and I even talked to some of our partners, still. They're like, yeah, well, their hotline's not used that much. And I'm like, hey, can we set up a meeting and talk?
Yeah.
I want to make sure that they understand because they may not.
Right.
They may not understand. Like I had a new, compliance officer recently that I had a conversation with when I reached out to him about our benchmark report. And he's like, oh, thank you for, giving me this. I'm going to take this information. I'm going to look at it. This is going to help me greatly. If they're kind of new, they might not know. And it is so important for them to be extremely aware that more reports are actually a good thing because that means that your hotline is working. You have a culture of acceptance, right? That they don't fear being retaliated against.
And it's visibility into the inner workings of your company. You're seeing what your employees are seeing and have a chance to fix things before they become, any risk is a business risk, but you're having a chance to fix them before they become like exponentially larger.
If you think about it, the risk, when we talk risk, you're risking life. In some situations, it is actually a person's life.
Mm-hmm.
And then the monetary guys are, just stuff that's going to stay with your company. Even if you were to pay to fine, right? So you get a monetary, fine against you, but then you have this reputation now. Right. So it's your company reputation too.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a vicious cycle.
Well,
so
I look at it, in a very simplified form, right? I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. If I say I'm going to lay on the couch and take a quick rest and all goes quiet and I let that quiet go, I might walk in to anything. But if my son comes down and says, my sister's in your makeup, well, then I want to know that before I come up and I see
makeup all over the carpet.
the end result of it. So I want to know.
That's actually a really good analogy for
it is a great
this.
Analogy.
I'm mad that I now have not thought of that analogy.
it's trademarked.
Yeah, copyrighted Amanda Hosenfeld 2020.
She copyrighted it before you.
I think you're right. Like it's better to know so I can get ahead of things than let me prevent my. I know that you're bougie like this, but like my $700 lipstick, right? That's how much your lipstick is.
Absolutely.
Right. I don't want my $700 lipstick all around.
I don't want anyone to see my Old Navy tag. give me away.
That's funny. No, that is a great analogy. That was super. I mean, because it's like as a kid, I always told on my brothers, but I'm sure my parents greatly appreciated that.
You were part of that speak up culture.
They called me a rat back then,
but I saved my parents a lot of grief and suffering.
Think of what you stopped, or a brother jumping off the roof, or
and they still did stupid stuff like that.
Well, I mean, just some of these examples, like the homeless individuals that were like, somebody had to blow the whistle on that.
Yeah.
Somebody had to be the one.
Somebody
to step
actually
up
had
and
like
say,
a moral thought, and it's like, this is not good.
And I'm sure that whoever reported this, and I don't know 100% of the details, so please, audience, correct me if I'm wrong. You can email ComplianceLive@ComplianceLine.com or tag Jenny France. But like, I'm sure that this $10 million fraud settlement was the hospital back to the government for Medicare. I mean, the person that blew the whistle didn't get a penny of that money, and it was just an ethical. Like, I saw something. I saw something that was not ethical, and I reported it.
Well, that's what, for me, being so new, I can already tell that we're all very similar, right? We're very positive, upbeat people, and we want to believe that everyone is as good and positive in the world. So, as you're reading through some of these, I'm like, please be from TV, please be from movie. And it's that feeling. But, part of my week last week and this week has been listening in to our actual hotline.
I was about to ask you, how's that going?
It was eye-opening for me because, sometimes you hear things, and I'm not going to share any actual information, but
of course
you hear, somebody say something and you're like, that's happening. But what I love is when I'm listening, because I get to hear our intake, work with these people, and you hear the stress in their voice, and you hear, they're unsure if they want to continue with this conversation, and they're, they sound, there was one that sounded very panicked, and by the end of the call, they sound reassured, and they've been taken to a place where, whatever horrific thing that or even the smaller things, there were a few calls that it wasn't a major violation, but they just felt the relief at the end of the call.
You do, because, anytime that you're kind of, quote, whistleblowing or telling on somebody or bringing something to light, I mean, you worry, and it's a burden on you, right? Even though it might not be happening to you, but if you witnessed it or that it's going on, you feel that burden, and you are kind of like scared to, I'm an emotional person. I would probably be that one that would be blubbering through something.
Right. I'm not even involved, but I'm
so empathetic to people that would just be like, and then and like, so, and the great thing is that our reps are trained to be able to, and I'm sure you've heard this, is to kind of calm them down. And that's why we do the adaptive interview process, is because we take the time not to just go through these, list of
answer these 10 questions.
And it's like, okay, so because what happens is when they actually go through and they tell the story, not only are we getting more information, but we're letting how it is when you vent to somebody and how much better you feel. Telling that whole story and getting that all kind of like off your chest. Yeah. So it's good, for the person that's calling in, their mental well-being probably. And then two, it's great for then people that have to do the investigation in the compliance area, because they've gotten that much more information, because we take the whole story. Yeah. And we got all the parties that are involved. So, and that's one of the key things, because they are scared to call in sometimes. And it is very intimidating to a certain extent. And that's why we have the live answer, right?
Yes.
So they're not sitting there on a hold in a call queue. Yeah. So it's like, because if I'm that, and I'm like, I know I get frustrated when I'm trying to call like, AT&T to get something fixed, and I'm on a hold, and I'm like, hang up.
I'll call back. Right.
I'll call back. So it's very important. That's why one of the things. That's why it's one of the big things that we kind of stand on. Yeah. As a company, because we feel that it's better for us to bring in more reps to answer calls live, to have that piece of that piece there, than to go to a call queue. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just to kind of sum it up, is like these individuals, the real ones, real life ones. Excuse me, they're not getting anything from reporting.
Yeah.
Like there's very few times where we'll take a call while somebody will say, well, what do I get out of this? I've never taken a call like that. And I would probably be hard pressed to find an agent that ended the call with,
what's my reward?
Yeah. Do I get a reward for this?
Where's my money?
I mean, there are some,
So go ahead and fire her and I'll take her job. Is that cool?
well, there are some compliance, violations that federally could be monetized. There are like laws, whistleblower laws and things like that, some people, I think that was in an earlier show, that we've put out that are monetized if you report, especially to the federal government. But, people just want to do the right thing and let people know that this is a dangerous or risky or scary or unethical situation that's happening. Yeah. So, yeah, that's, you guys did great. I will now announce the winner. And it is me.
I knew she was going to say
I am the winner. Yeah, please be careful because yes, it does.
Teresa, did you say?
Well, guys, our Ubers are coming in a few minutes. So, yeah, that was the fast move.
And I don't have my pots and pans.
Were you going to do your dance move?
I can do my dance video ones, but the vast majority of my TikToks now are my cooking videos. So, feel free to find me out on TikTok.
Oh, my God.
Shameless plug.
So I would like to state for the record that is unethical. I'm kidding. But while you are out on social media, ComplianceLine does not have a TikTok.
Nope.
Jenny said I couldn't have a TikTok for ComplianceLine because I legitimately asked her this morning.
I said, not the platform for us.
Fine. But
Instagram has Reels now.
We'll talk later.
We'll talk later. Yeah. But you can find us out on Instagram at ComplianceLine. You can find us at Twitter at ComplianceLive. You can find us on Facebook at our company page, ComplianceLine, and especially our big, we put a ton of material on our LinkedIn.
Yeah, LinkedIn.
At our company page on ComplianceLine. We're going to clip up the show. So we'll put you guys in like 30-second nuggets of you failing this real nugget test.
I just remember getting them right. So
I will only clip out ones where you got the answers right.
Yeah, please.
And then
mine
will all be like the losing ones. So
if you enjoyed this live stream, or if you're listening to it secondhand on the podcast and want to join the live stream next time, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Oh, Shane and Johanna said hi. Sorry, we got a YouTube comment. We never get a YouTube comment, so thank you for commenting.
I love that. That is so cute.
That is very sweet, and my daughter didn't comment. It's fine. It's whatever. But please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We clip out every show into bite-sized pieces, but we also put all of our full shows out for consumption. We've had some really, really great shows lately, so check all of those out. And did I miss anything? Do we have anything else?
Good. I think we got it covered.
But I'm going to go home and my kids are going to ask for a compliance line for every time I don't give them a cookie, or so maybe having them watch this was a bad idea.
It's
rethinking this.
Mom, your ethics are. I don't believe that you're adhering to the values of this family, Mom.
Don't give them extra ideas.
You're welcome, Shane and Joanna. All right. Well, for Compliance Live, I'm Amanda Hosenfeld.
I'm Jenny Fran.
And I'm Kate Smith.
And stay compliant. All right. Now I got to make sure that I'm in the live stream appropriately. Hold on. End stream. End.